Welcome to this exciting episode of Talking Lamar. Today, I'm talking about one of the most versatile foods on the planet. Let's get to it.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Sorry, I forgot what I was talking about.
What are you talking about?
I am talking to you.
That's just what I was talking about.
It's Talking Lamar.
I want to talk about eggs. I love eggs. I'm crazy about eggs. And nobody thinks that much about eggs. Well, maybe they do now about how expensive they are, but I don't care what they cost. I still got to have them. Because some of the greatest dishes that people love couldn't happen without eggs. You're talking about 5 grams of fat, 6 grams of protein, 0.6 grams of carb, and maybe 78 to 88 calories. Yeah, everybody says cholesterol, but egg cholesterol and blood cholesterol are not the same thing. Current medical evidence suggests that eating foods in high dietary cholesterol really does not significantly impact your chance of heart disease. I think that's true. But now eggs are like salt, coffee, and red wine. One day they're poison and it's killing us all. The next day they're extending our lives. Now, while they're telling us that, we're being poisoned by red dye, yellow dye, plastic, and everything else. So I'm not worried about that. I got to figure eggs is a natural thing. Do y'all love eggs? I love them.
I do.
I love eggs, and I have been studiously ignoring, because you're right, it ricochets back and forth.
Yeah.
Studiously ignoring any bad news about eggs forever. I love eggs.
Now, I got a few little quick egg facts that people may not know. Eggs are good for your eyes. Eggshell and yolk color can vary, but neither one of those has an effect on the taste. See, I like to buy brown eggs, but they don't taste any different than white eggs. Carla likes white eggs. When I get the brown eggs, she goes, "Oh, I don't like the brown eggs." Well, I don't see how you matter, because it doesn't matter. And this right here says it doesn't matter.
Lamar, we bought a carton of blue eggs at Costco.
Yeah.
And
Really?
the yolks, yes, listen to me. They're blue free range organic eggs. And they were cheap. Like I keep seeing people saying eggs are $1,000. I bought a 12-pack of Eggland's Best for $5.99 the other night. And I live in a not cheap place. But anyway, these blue eggs, it said on the carton that the yolks were vibrant. Well, I wasn't prepared for what that meant. As orange as a crayon. Orange as a crayon.
Yes.
It was
Rich.
a little bit off-putting at first, but delicious.
Well, they say that the breed determines the eggshell color, and most of the reason commercial eggs are always brown or white is because that's the most chickens they use. But if you go to, like, I had some friends that had chickens, and I would buy eggs from them, and it'd be multicolored. Some would be blue, some would be green. They might even be a pink egg in there. So the breeds make a difference there. Now, here's something I did not know, and I'm glad I'm going to try this out. If you drop an egg on the floor, and you know what a big mess that is, sprinkle it real heavy with salt, and it makes it easy to clean up. Did you know that?
No.
I thought if you dropped an egg on the floor, you were supposed to call the dog. So this is new information for me. Thank you.
I can't get, and I'm apt to drop one every once in a while. I can't wait to try that. Now, the average hen lays 300 to 325 eggs per year, and it takes a hen 24 to 26 hours to produce an egg. Now, here's something else I didn't know. You know, I get the carton out, I take the eggs, I put the carton back. I don't leave my eggs out. But it says that an egg, if you leave it out, it will age more in one day if you leave it out at room temperature than it will in a week in the refrigerator.
So let me ask you this. So farm eggs, like my neighbor, our oldest son has chickens, and my neighbor George has chickens. And those, we don't refrigerate those eggs at all because they have the natural protective coating on them from shooting through the chicken.
Yes.
But store-bought eggs, I would no more leave a store-bought egg on the counter than I would leave a jar of mayonnaise in my glove box in July, Lamar Richardson. Just saying.
Yes, if you get the eggs from like a farm or something like that, if you don't wash them, you're good to go. But if you wash the eggs, and see that's why commercial eggs are they're washed. But if you like you say, if you leave that coating on there, because we went down to the big yard sale or whatever you want to call it down in Alabama, and over there where they got the produce and stuff, and that they would have like 50 dozen eggs stacked up in the sun out there. And Carla's like, oh my God, you could never buy those. Well, yeah, you can.
No, you
but
can. Yeah.
You can, but if you wash them, now here's another thing. When you're looking at eggs and you'll see cage-free eggs, okay? That is a joke. They cage-free doesn't mean they're running around all happy-go-lucky. The cage-free, they are still in houses and they're indoors. They cannot go outside. It's not as tight a cage as a regular chicken that's in a commercial chicken, but it very cramped conditions. Okay. It's better than the commercial, but not by much. Now, when you see free range eggs, they have access to outdoors. It allows them to roam freely during the day outside, but the space they have is only, they have to have at least 2 square feet per bird to call them free range. Okay. So if you want to get eggs from comfortable chickens that are really living a good life, you got to get pasture raised eggs. You ever see these?
I do, and I mostly at like farmers markets and stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll be driving down a road and there'll be a sign tacked up by someone's driveway, fresh eggs for sale. That is always a good idea to stop.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think maybe I shouldn't stop here in case like this is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And then I remember that not everyone is insane. And I go ahead and buy the eggs from those nice people.
No, I'm like you now. I see that handmade sign and I'm thinking, am I going to get out of here alive? If I go, I would call somebody and tell them where I'm at in case I never get heard from again. But the pasture raised eggs, they get a minimum of 108 square feet per chicken, per hen. Okay.
Now you're talking.
And they eat a combination of balanced supplemental feed, organic, and whatever they find in the dirt. They can eat grass, worms, bugs, whatever. They're outside. And one of the farms that I read about, they open up their doors right before sunup, and those barn doors stay open. The chickens can come and go as they please, but they all come back in before the sun goes down because they have to be safe. I mean, you have foxes and stuff like that. So and I didn't know all that. So now that I know that, I'm going to go find me some pasture-raised eggs. Now, when you're cooking eggs, what's your favorite eggs? You like them scrambled? You like them fried? You like them over easy? How you like them?
I'm in hell right now because my favorite eggs are over easy or over medium. And all of the guidance about bird flu is cook your eggs thoroughly, scramble them, hard boil them, put them in an omelet. And I'm like, but I could drink the yolks out of a glass with Tabasco sauce. So it's been, I've been trying, oh God, Lamar. I've been trying. If I had tried as hard in geometry as I have tried to like a scrambled egg, my whole life would be different. How about you?
Well, I like a scrambled egg. Now I like an egg. I like an egg over medium. But what I really like is an egg over medium, but with the whites, the crispy edges on the white. Now to do that, you have to put a little bit more oil in the pan and you have to do it on high heat. Because that way you can get that little crispy edge right around it, and then you flip it. And before you do that, you rake a little bit of the hot grease on top of the egg right there, so it goes ahead and starts cooking that white that's on the top. Then you flip it and then pull it out. You still got the runny yellow, but I like the crispy edges. But scrambled eggs.
Our kids refer to that as plastic eggs, and it is cause to call social services. Now, let me tell you something that my youngest makes that is the most freaking delicious thing you'll ever have. I'll have to get her to give me the recipe so I can share it. She makes these chili eggs with cream and serves them on a slab of toasted like French bread or sourdough. So basically, it's an over medium egg that has been bathed in the pan with olive oil and chili crisp, and at the last moment, a splash of heavy cream to pull it all together. Mr. Richardson,
Shut
you have
up.
not lived. Does that not sound
Shut up.
amazing?
Yes, it really, really does. It really does.
She makes
Now,
that for me when she comes home from school. It's incredible.
here's how I cook my scrambled eggs, and I've actually got this recipe in my upcoming cookbook. I watched my mama cook eggs all my life, and she cooked them very slow, very low. She would sit there on the stool right in front of after she cooked all the bacon and sausage, whatever. She'd get it out. And of course, she'd leave all the bacon grease. That's how we cook the eggs in, and so she'd cut it down real low, and she would sit there and she would stir them eggs. And I mean, I felt like it took her 45 minutes, but it didn't. And they were perfectly done. Not too much, not bouncy. I don't like bouncy scrambled eggs. I can't stand that. I can't stand that. I need them to be done, but just done. So
I
here's
don't
what
like
I do.
dry scrambled eggs.
No.
They have to have a little bit of a shine on them. And one of my dance mom friends, Miss Linda, she's like your mom. She will cook a scrambled egg. She'll take 25 minutes if need be to cook a scrambled egg.
Yeah. All right. What I do is I start off in a cold pan, and I put, depending on how many eggs I'm cooking, I put some pats of butter in the pan cold. Then I take the eggs, I break them into a bowl, and I whip them up. Then I pour them into the cold pan. Then I turn the heat on, medium high, and I take a spatula and I just start moving the eggs back and forth, back and forth. And after about a minute and a half or so, I take it off the heat, keep moving them back and forth. I bring them back to the heat and go for another few minutes. When you're pushing the ladle across the bottom and you start getting some egg that's cooked up, bring it back off the heat. I go back and forth on the heat, every few minutes. And then once they get to a certain point, if I'm going to add cheese, I'll put the cheese in. And then I let that go for a little bit. But before they get 3/4 done, I put some heavy cream in there, and then I work it again. And right before they get done, because I don't put the salt on any earlier. I don't salt my eggs that I've whipped up. I don't put the egg on till the last thing. Put a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and finish them off. And I pull them off in the pan when they're still not exactly done, because they're going to keep cooking for a minute.
That
I
sounds
can eat those.
that sounds
They're
so
really
good.
good.
I see your technique, and I present truck stop scrambled to you. Do you know what a truck stop scrambled egg is?
No.
Hairnet and cigarette hanging out of your mouth optional. Okay, that's optional.
And no cigarette
That's up to you.
ashes.
Yeah, that's up to you. I mean, if you
Yeah.
if you feel like you need to do that, you do that. But here's what I do.
Yeah.
So I take the pan and I heat it up. So with truck stop scramble, you don't want a cold pan. So I heat it up and then I drop in a knob of butter. And when that butter turns into a little golden puddle of sunshine, I crack an egg into that puddle. And there's that egg sitting in that puddle, and that yolk is looking up at me, and it's just daring me. It's just saying, won't you spank me? I've been a bad, bad girl. And then, and I'm looking at that yolk, and I'm like, you have been a bad girl, and it's coming. I got the spatula ready. So just as the egg begins the first stage of setting up, like it would if you were going to cook an over easy or an over medium egg, you hit it with some fresh ground black pepper, and you take your spatula and you whip the snot out of that bad boy. You just stir it up right there with the spatula, and you stir it and fold it, stir it, fold it, stir it, fold it, stir it, fold it. Boom. There you go. Truck stop egg. And you can tell truck stop eggs from regular scrambled eggs because they're not as uniformly yellow, because you still see white, and there are patches that are a little white, patches that are a little brighter yellow from the yolk. And it's a really fast way, because a lot of days, like, you're not going to believe this, because I don't think anybody thinks of me as like a traditional sort of wifey, but I get up really, really early. And a lot of days while I'm getting ready for work, I'll be like, Kev, you want some breakfast? And I don't eat what he eats because it's too early in the day. But I'll whip him up a couple of truck stop scrambled eggs, and you can do it in just a few minutes, and it's so good. So good.
Yeah, that is good. That is good. And
then I give it to him. I give it to him.
It.
I'm like, here's your eggs, and you're the luckiest man alive. Say it with me. You're the luckiest man. You are the luckiest man alive. That's part of it. Hairnet, cigarette, and telling him he's the luckiest man alive. That's also part of the recipe.
Now, what do you do about boiled eggs?
I make hard-boiled eggs in my Instant Pot. I love hard-boiled eggs. But I like hard-boiled eggs.
Everybody says the Instant Pot is the greatest way to cook them.
Girl, you just don't know. I mean, it's foolproof, okay? I like hard-boiled eggs to eat a hard-boiled egg. I have never in my life eaten an egg salad sandwich. I wouldn't even know what to do with that. But like a hard-boiled egg as a snack or a couple hard-boiled eggs for breakfast, yeah. How do you cook your hard-boiled eggs if not in an Instant Pot?
I put them in a pan in cold water. I put them on the stove. I hit the fire high. As soon as it starts to boil, I cover the pot, set it to the back of the stove, and I come back in about 11 minutes. Then I put them in an ice bath, and then I run some water because peeling eggs, oh my God, there's no easy way. Everybody, put some salt in there. Oh, put some vinegar in there. Put this, put that, put that. That does not do any good. Does not do any good. The best thing I have found is after I put them in an ice bath, I let them sit for a little while. And here's one thing I know for sure, and this is true. I've read this, and older eggs are easier to peel than fresh eggs. The problem is when I buy eggs, they don't last but 3 or 4 days because I eat eggs. I eat them, so I don't play.
I am so thankful that you just said that because when I hard boil eggs that are from the family chickens or whatever, those some bitches do not want to get peeled. And now I know why.
No, because when you buy them at the store, they got a little bit of age on them when you get them. And then if you let them sit in your refrigerator for a while, but if you run the water, doesn't have to be hard, but just run the water at a little steady pace and hit the bottom of the egg first, the round part, not the pointy end. Hit the bottom because there's air there. There's always air there. And you pop them. And then as you're peeling, if you hold them under the water, that water will sometimes get under that not skin, or whatever the film is. Because if you can get under that film, you can take it off. It's no problem. But if you don't get under that film, you can't. So that works pretty good. But now egg salad, oh my God. You're missing. This is so simple. Because once you make the egg salad.
My husband loves it. I know he loves it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know.
Oh no. I love it. And I put some onion in there, and I put I dice up some jalapenos and put them in there. Then I put some grainy mustard, just a little bit of grainy mustard, and then mayonnaise. And maybe I'll put pickles in because Carla likes pickles. I don't really care about the pickles, but I'll put pickles in. But man, I love egg salad. I really do.
Let me ask you this question, and I'm wondering if maybe this was Max's life, like mine, but not yours. I come from people that eat soft-boiled eggs.
I was going to say, not only did we have soft-boiled eggs, but there were egg cups that were a specific piece of flatware or dinnerware that that you had. I know. It sounds.
This is TV. This is on TV. I saw this on TV.
And I can tell you because it was Franciscan ware and it was Desert Rose was the pattern, and so we had that, and we would every Sunday my mother would cook bacon and eggs, and we would get soft-boiled eggs in that egg cup.
Lamar,
all right, did you have to tap it on the top and then pop the
with your spoon?
How do you eat it?
You tap it and then you spoon the contents out of the shell.
Yeah,
and you eat it directly. It's sitting in its egg cup, and you tap, and then you eat the egg out of the shell. Out of the actual shell.
And the yellow's runny. Is the yellow runny?
It's very runny. You could drink it. You could drink it. When I was a kid, that was what we were given if we were sick. We would get a soft-boiled egg and a piece of cinnamon toast. And so I just thought everybody ate soft-boiled eggs. The first time my husband saw me eat a soft-boiled egg, I thought he was going to leave.
See,
It was
I
so
love a
disgusting
runny
to him.
egg, but I can't. My boiled eggs they got to be hard boiled. I got to have hard boiled eggs. I can't.
So what my
no.
father would do with it is he would take pieces of toast and he would dump the
Yeah.
contents
Dunk it
into the
in there.
cup out of the shell, and he would
Yeah.
pieces of toast in there. So it was, it was soaking it up a little bit. And I hadn't thought about this in a long time.
If you were going to do it that way, Lamar, you would make a piece of toast and butter it, and then you would cut it into like long vertical rectangle
Oh
things.
yeah, points.
Soldiers.
Toast points.
No, not points, soldiers. These are soldiers. These are not triangles. These are rectangles. And you pick up a
rectangles.
soldier and you dunk it into your soft-boiled egg. And I tried doing this with my kids. I just thought this is how human beings behave. I want you to know that the first day I put a soft-boiled egg in front of my daughter, Olivia, I thought she was going to leave and find a new family. It was so gross to her. It was so gross.
Never done it. I've never.
Would you like
never
to
done it.
try it though? You're a foodie. You're adventurous.
Yeah,
Would
yeah,
you like
yeah.
to try?
I hadn't even thought about that in years until you brought it up. But I'd watch them do it on TV, and they'd tap it with a spoon and
Yeah.
get the shell off, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I tell you what, I love at Cracker Barrel
don't you
when they
try
do
it?
the
Why
eggs
don't
in
you
the
try it?
basket. You ever order that at Cracker Barrel?
Oh, yes. So what you get the sourdough bread.
Sourdough bread, yes.
Right. And then in the center of it, that's where they put the egg. Oh, that is
They cut a hole. They cut a hole in the egg and put it to the side. Then they put the piece of bread on the grill, crack the egg, and put it in there. And so you've got it's almost like a weird type of French toast, almost, but it's not.
What
Oh,
the
man.
hell? Fancy jargon.
basket.
What did you? It's
Egg in a
supposed to
Egg
be.
in a basket.
It's toad in a hole. It's called toad in a hole.
Oh,
Toad in who in the hell eats a toad in a hole? A
toad
lot
in
of
a
people
hole.
eat egg in a basket, but they ain't making a toad in a hole.
Toad in a hole.
did they call it that, Sherry, to make it more appealing for children?
Maybe. But when I was little,
God.
and I'm talking 5 and 6 years old, my great grandma
Yeah.
Whitehair, she was the one that would slap us in the face with her boobs.
Uh-huh.
My great grandma Whitehair, who spoke very little English, she was all Italian. She would let me make breakfast for her and she'd fire up a pan on the gas stove, and she loved toad in the hole, so I would be allowed to make her toad in the hole. That poor woman ate whatever burned crap I slid onto a plate. But it's if you've never tried it, I don't care what you call it, because you've got the crunchy toast and there's the egg baked right into it.
Yes, yeah, it's really good. And I like French toast too. If I go to like a brunch place or a fancy breakfast place or whatever, they've got good French toast. I like French toast. I really do.
Where do you?
I like to
where
cook
do
it
you-
at the house.
Where do you come down on a jammy egg, like in your soup or your ramen?
What? It's a jammy egg.
Oh my God, soft-boiled eggs, toad in a hole, now jammy eggs. So to make a jammy egg, and you'll see this often served, like if you go to a restaurant and it's a fancy place and you order a salad and an egg comes out sitting on top of the salad, and the
Yeah.
yolk has that, it's not runny, but it's not set. It's jammy. That's a jammy
Yeah.
egg. And
Oh.
a jammy egg, Lamar, is a life changer for you. Although I don't know that I should be advising you to eat even more eggs and butter, but a jammy egg, atop like a salad with some mixed greens, bitter greens, and spinach is a game changer. A jammy egg in a bowl of soup or ramen, life changer. It's so good. And my daughter, so Olivia, Karen Mia makes me these chili crisp eggs and cream. My other daughter makes these soy sauce marinated jammy eggs to put in ramen or serve atop a bowl of rice. I invite you to look at there's a bunch of different techniques for doing it, but you, Lamar, I know you would love a jammy egg.
Is a jammy egg what they put on that Korean dish? God, what is it? It's got all the stuff in it.
Yes.
I can't think of it.
That texture where it's like, it's not scrambled and it's not runny, but it's not set. Yup.
Right.
Yep.
That's got to be hard to cook.
No, it
Thai,
isn't.
Thai food, they do that too.
Yeah.
It's just a timing thing, if you're listen, my brother, the way you just described what you go through to make a hard-boiled egg is more than midwives used to go through to deliver a baby. You can handle a jammy egg. You can handle it.
All right. I've learned two things today: the jammy egg, and now we're talking about the soft boiled egg. I got to go back to that.
And toad in the hole.
Toad in the hole.
No, we're gonna stay with the egg in the basket. Toad in the hole, man.
Because
That's
children don't want to eat eggs, but a toad, yeah, that's okay.
Toad in the
Yeah.
hole? Oh, yeah.
yeah, toad in the hole. Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, all right. Well, who would have thunk that we could have talked this long about eggs? But we have. And so I want to thank everybody for listening to this exciting episode. Appreciate y'all listening. Tell somebody about Talking Lamar. Just spread the news. It's like Amway. Just spread it out there. Who knows? And don't forget the award-winning True Weird Stuff podcast. That's where the toad in the hole thing sounds like it comes from the True Weird podcast. But I promise you'll still love it. And there's more to come on Talking Lamar, so don't quit now because I hate a quitter. Join us for the next episode. Let us know what you think. Go to the Bob and Sheri app. Look down at the bottom. Click on that microphone and start talking. We need to know what you think. You can also call 844-52-SHERI and leave a message. Until then.